Tingles with flyby. Daily ASMR videos. Hello and welcome to the Lindt factory store. We are very honored and excited about the possibility between a partnership between our two companies. Obviously, the Excellence range is the highest quality of chocolate. Some of the best that you can get of Swiss chocolate. And of course, having a partnership with your line of stores would be mutually beneficial to both parties as far as investors but also customer satisfaction goes. These chocolates are well loved by everybody who eats them, but also because of the significant quantities that we are talking about, you would be able to get them at a significant discount to anywhere else that they can be found. And this would make them very attractive within your stores. And so I think this could be a very mutually beneficial arrangement. Now, here I have a selection of 14 bars from our Excellence range, and these are some of the most popular bars, but we do also have a wider range than this if you do want to expand your offerings, but these are the ones that I would recommend starting with. Now, first, what I would like to point out, as you can see across the whole range with every one of these chocolate bars, is that every detail has been attended to. So we take pride in our packaging. We want this to feel like a luxurious, indulgent experience every single time for every single one of your customers. We want them to really be able to experience the beauty and majesty of these chocolates. And we believe that that experience begins long before your customer ever even tastes the bar. And it begins with simply seeing the package. So that's what I will start off by showing you. This here is just one example, but you can see a similarity throughout the rest of the packaging. It is a different color, So the black coloring suggests that this is a dark chocolate. And you can see down in the bottom it's also written to make it very clear and evident to your customers what bar they are purchasing. This is a dark chocolate with a touch of sea salt. Now you can see we have this beautiful, somewhat silky background, and it varies in color depending on the bar. You can see for this sea salt bar we've selected this beautiful deep blue to be reminiscent of the sea, but we have deep brown for our 70% cocoa, a similar type color for roasted almond, but a bit more, a little lighter to lend that roasted almond coloring, a bit creamier and golden in the roasted hazelnut. We have this green background for the mint, a beautiful raspberry color for our raspberry, a deliciously delectable caramel color for our sea salt caramel, and a bright red chili color for the chili. And just this deepest, darkest brown in the 85% cocoa. So you can see that theme is used throughout the dark chocolates. It's a little bit different for the milk and white, and we'll go through those a little bit later. The other elements that you see on this packaging, proudly displayed at the top, is the Lindt Excellence brand. We have our logo proudly displayed next to our name, and excellence in this beautiful gold foil. This lends a luxurious feel to every single chocolate bar. At the bottom, we have fine dark chocolate, and then on this side, a little descriptor of this particular bar with a touch of sea salt. And then here we again have our logo with our classic name. So you can see Lindt ursprünglich Meter Chocolatier después 1845. And that's in the logo down here. This element points to the historical nature, the long and proud tradition that our company has in making the finest chocolate in the world. It was our company that invented the process of conching chocolate, which is what allows it to be creamy and smooth, so that it has no graininess in the chocolate. And this is a process that we've perfected over 150 years. And you would be hard-pressed to find a smoother chocolate than the one you will get from us. Now you will notice we also have an image of the bar itself prominently displayed here on the front of the packaging. So for this one, it looks like a classic dark chocolate bar. And then there's a little homage to the element that is particular to this bar. So you can see the little crusts of sea salt. Just that image on the front can begin to make a customer's mouth water. And they will be drawn in to this chocolate, particularly if they've had it before. So we do highly recommend when you're introducing the line to hand out samples. So that is the sea salt. I can also point out the back to you. We have an image of a chocolatier engaged in the process of making our chocolate, a little recommendation to other chocolate bars, and then of course a lovely little description. I won't read them all, but just to give you an idea. Enliven your senses with the ultimate chocolate luxury. Excellence. With this range, you will discover the expertise and craftsmanship of our Lindt master chocolatiers in blending the most aromatic cocoa beans with the finest ingredients to create a rich and refined chocolate of intense flavor and elegant texture. Excellent, a touch of sea salt, an unexpected and yet harmonious combination of the finest dark chocolate with a touch of hand harvested fleur de sel crystals. We also have a advertisement for Evenings of Excellence, which provides serving suggestions for how your customers may turn tasting these bars into a whole evening, complementing them with wine and teas and cheeses and coffees. Of course, we have a list of ingredients, our quality guarantee, manufacturing information, obviously nutrition information, and all the other expectations. On the side, we just have a simple label, of course embossed and in gold with the Lindt Excellence Dark Sea Salt. So it is a true luxury, top to bottom, and this is part of our ethos as a company, is just delighting in every single detail. So of course our staff delight in every single detail of this delightful packaging. Now let me go through and I'll just give you a little bit of a rundown on each of these dark bars. So I am not sure quite what sort of cocoa profile your particular customer base may have. We usually recommend starting out with the 85% cocoa, and if you find that you are selling out of that, then you can maybe kick it up. We also have a 90% bar as well, so it can get quite intense. All of the pure cocoa bars have this lovely extra embossing, which shows a ship sailing in among cocoa pods on the tree. And so that's what we see on the 85% and the 70%. Now what you'll notice between these two is they're both 70% cocoa, but they're different blends. And so to the discerning palate, they may enjoy tasting the difference between these two bars. They may like both of them, or they may prefer one of them. And so it's nice to have both of these options, the smooth blend and the 70% cocoa. Over here we have our roasted almond and roasted hazelnut. If we look at the bar here, you can see that we have the piece of chocolate, and it's actually raised, and you can see the little pieces of almond sticking out right here on the packaging. Of course, in pride of place is some delicious roasted almonds as well, to really satisfy the intellectual and visual component, because this is what helps the brain understand what the mouth will understand when eating this bar. And that is the difference between a bar like this and a bar like this, in that this will have that almond flavoring in there. The almond is just enrobed in the chocolate. It adds a nice extra crunch and is supremely delicious. Another that we have newly added to this range is the roasted hazelnut. And again, you can see the homage to the actual bar itself, along with whole hazelnuts and little hazelnut pieces, which makes you just kind of feel like you might need to lick your finger and pick up those little pieces, just seeing them on the package. This is a delightful combination, which obviously has been well exploited by our competitors in Nutella. Although obviously we don't deal in spreads, but we consider anybody working in chocolate our competitor. But this is an absolutely delicious chocolate. Again, a nice bit of crunch in there, which is good to cater to, as some do prefer that sort of chocolate, whereas the rest of ours are just delectably and irresistibly smooth and creamy. Over here we have the Mint Intense Dark Chocolate, and this is one of my personal favorites. I always have to have a few of these on hand. The combination of this smooth and creamy dark chocolate with the lightness and coolness of the mint is just absolutely delectable. This bar is an absolute marvel, and you can see the green mint proudly displayed within the packaging. I cannot recommend this highly enough. Absolutely stunning. Now for the fruit and chocolate lovers, we do have the raspberry intense, and this has little bits of raspberry studded within the chocolate. But what you'll notice is you still have a very flat and beautiful profile to the chocolate. This helps lend a creaminess and smoothness, despite the fact that there is flavor and fruit inside. This has a strong raspberry flavor, and that really complements the dark chocolate in just a supreme fashion. Now here is the sea salt caramel, and this is an absolute joy. It is sweet, and that sweetness complements the dark chocolate and just creates a beautiful union. You can see the creamy caramel and sea salt displayed here, and those little ooey gooey pockets displayed within the chocolate bar. It is an absolute indulgence, and it is abundantly satisfying. Now our final dark chocolate is this chili chocolate, and we do have to thank our Spanish neighbors for the inspiration for this chocolate. Of course, Mexican hot chocolate has created this wonderful combination. This is a wonderful chocolate which has that subtle heat within it. It is really lovely, particularly on a cold night. Very popular in the winter is this chocolate, and it is wonderful for the tasting parties that we were talking about. Looks like this is alternate packaging. Obviously we would get you your correct packaging for that one, so I do apologize for that. But this is just an absolutely marvelous creation. Now let's move on to the milk chocolate range. Obviously, the dark chocolate has a very adult and mature type appeal, and appeals to a certain clientele. The milk chocolate has a very broad appeal across a number of ages and people. All of our milk chocolates have this blue coloring that hints at the Swiss milk chocolates. It's very common trend even in other brands such as Ritter Sport or other brands such as that. And the coloring in the background maintains that blue in the center, which departs from these other chocolates. We have a lighter going towards white gradient in the center, but obviously the elements at the top and the bottom are much the same, but this is different. Rather than having this gold on the sides, we have milk, extra fine milk chocolate. So the first milk chocolate bar I have to show you is this extra creamy bar, and it has a splash of cream in the middle to really hit home the point about the extra cocoa butter and the extra smoothness and creaminess of this bar. It's absolutely delectable. Now, the next we have is the sea salt caramel, which has similar imaging to the dark chocolate, but set against this blue background with a beautiful large splash of caramel and those crystals of sea salt. And it says milk with crunchy caramel pieces and sea salt. Again, this is beautiful and sweet, balanced out by the saltiness in the bar, but the creaminess just makes this a deliciously sweet indulgence. The final milk chocolate bar we have is our mint milk, which again just has a beautiful bit of green mint in the middle for its packaging, and lovely and creamy chocolate with that mint flavor to add a bit of coolness. Very, very popular this one has been since we brought it out. Now the final chocolate bar I have to show you is our white chocolate bar. It's extra silky with Madagascar vanilla. You can see the beautiful vanilla flower and the beautiful vanilla beans there. This has beautiful packaging, cream colored, paying homage and building an association of the color of the chocolate immediately with this packaging. You look at this packaging and you immediately know what you'll be getting. Something creamy, something white chocolate, and something absolutely delicious. The packaging here has again more similar to the dark chocolate. So it says extra fine white chocolate with natural Madagascaran vanilla. And it is perhaps one of the most beautiful packages that we have. And for lovers of white chocolate, there is nothing finer than Lindt Excellence Extra Silky. A very popular addition to your line of stores, I would say. So, that's the range that I would propose think if you order in probably about 30,000 units of each, that should be enough to start out in your stores to stock them fully. And obviously I said at that volume we will be able to offer a significant discount, and that savings can then be passed on to your customers, which will make it very compelling for them to purchase these chocolates from you. Okay, well, I will have our lawyer then draft up the paperwork so we can get the details all ironed out. But I do thank you for meeting with me today. I know it's important to really see what you're investing in and what will actually be displayed on your shelves. And we do appreciate your attention to detail and taking the time for us to explain all these things to you. Oh, well, it's definitely my pleasure. Just any issues, do email me directly and I will take care of any issues you have. Okay? Okay, well, then we will be in touch, and I do look forward to a long and profitable relationship between our two companies. Okay, goodbye. Thank you for joining me for this week's Food Friday video. I do a new food-related video every Friday because I love food ASMR, particularly roleplay, so you'll see a lot of waitress videos, menu readings, desserts, boutiques, anything to do with food, but more talking about it, not really eating. And I also do a daily ASMR video covering a variety of topics. So we have Map Mondays, Tingledom Tuesdays, Tingledom being my own fantastical ASMR land where everything magical can and does happen. I also do a Whisper Wednesday for all of my whisper lovers out there of a completely whispered video. And I also have a sales Saturday video. And on Thursday and Sunday we do everything else in between. I also do a viewers appreciation video each month on the 25th. So comment down below or on any of my other videos for your chance to be featured in that video. It's also my favorite part of having an ASMR channel, so if you did like this video, please leave me a comment, or at the very least, give it a thumbs up. And of course, hit subscribe. Otherwise, what are you going to do with all this information? You'll know about all these videos, but you won't get to see them. And don't be like one person who found me a year later and they said I didn't subscribe. It was a big mistake. Don't let that be you. So now I recommend just go either look at the suggested videos or you can go to my channel homepage and find